Hola, from the west side. It is me, DCThePurpleDiva, and welcome to Not So Random Chat. So y'all know how I work this out. Happy Thursday. Gotta do my hey 1SP. Share myself out. I always do. We are grinding, y'all. Today I'm trying to play and catch up, trying to catch up on people's videos and stuff. Let's see, come on through. But it's getting really crazy out here in these YouTube streets for a number of people. Well, I'm just going to say it's just getting crazy. Um, all right, so now I have posted, and like last night, I was doing my Wednesday night woosah, you know, because this is, the chill stream. I like to keep it chill when, I'm on here doing live streams. And, but the foolishness is always going on around certain parts of YouTube. And, you know, there are people, and rightly so, hey, Jack, and rightly so, that are divesting themselves, so to speak, from this part of YouTube. And it's really sad from the perspective that the people who are divesting themselves they're not leaving YouTube. They're just done with what's going on over here. And, I mean, I'm a black YouTuber, but I'm a mom blog for the most part, as far as, what I'm putting out, lifestyle, that kind of stuff. But to me, it's like, they're like different sectors and all of that stuff. And I mean, you've got different sectors within black YouTube, as so to speak. But I think that there's some parts, there's, I'll just say there's certain people that do certain things online. Hey, Darren, that they wouldn't do in real life. And, to me, y'all know how I feel. It's like, we don't know each other. You know people as online friends. Now, of course, obviously, you may do business with certain people that are on YouTube or on social media. But, for the most part, other content creators are just other content creators that you either choose to support or you don't support. You don't really know these people. You only know what their persona is or what it is that they put on to the platform. But then you also have to deal with the issue of whatever you decide to share. If somebody doesn't like you for whatever reason, they may decide to use stuff. And there's been so many people that have been pulled into so much mess that some weren't even content creators. Um, they were supporters of channels, and yet and still videos are being done about them, which is just so ridiculous. I'm like, we are not in high school up in here. We're not in high school. And I hate that some people are choosing to leave because they're not being run out, but are just choosing, to leave and go to other parts of YouTube because this is a huge platform. And the foolishness that goes on over here is just a microscopic portion of what's going on this platform. And, you know, if you're here and you are about your brand, if you have a brand or if you're trying to build a brand, then certainly you don't want to be mixed up in a bunch of foolishness. So I can totally understand this. Totally understand it. I'm not mixed up in the foolishness. Now, do I want to know what's going on? Hell yeah. Because you want to know if people are around here doing stupid stuff that you don't want to be involved in. You want to know that. But at the same time, there's a lot of people in the sector that are cool to me. You know, I mean, I don't get pulled into stuff. And here's the thing: half the people don't even know I am a content creator. They don't even know I was already a content creator when I, would jump in the chats. I was already doing my thing. I was, you know, a supporter and kind of floating around in other sectors because I'm an artsy girl. So I like to look at the craft and stuff. I've got friends that are crocheters and knitters. I've got friends on here, and I'm talking about YouTube friends that are, do gardening. Obviously, I've made friends within the autism community, black, brown, pink, purple. Um, I love going and visiting some of the content creators channels that are over on the continent, that have cooking channels. I like watching the cooking channels. I love watching a couple of the ones that are into, the beauty thing. But that's not, my thing. And unfortunately for us, they only see us, and I'm talking about black YouTubers per se, they look at us as either doing, beauty blogging, cooking channels, or, or I guess, the beefing channels, whatever. They don't look at the fact that there is such a diverse group of content creators all over here, doing all kinds of stuff that are not involved in all this BS that's going on. Because I know I'm not. Um, and are bringing great content. Now, there's room for everybody. I mean, we've got some content creators that are into holistic. I like holistic stuff, and as you see, I've done a couple of videos about holistic because I use holistic stuff within dealing with my son on certain levels. But my point is that it just is sad that this BS that's been going on has pushed other people to just not come around so much, take a permanent break from this sector. You were blocked on 50 channels. I've been blocked on a couple of channels, 1SP. I mean, don't know why. And it's simply I've been blocked because of who I associate with. So because I associate with one person in Black YouTube, in certain part of what Brother Joe said in another live, the barbecue beef sector. I guess that's what it is. Um, because I follow certain content creators, and last time I checked, DC's a grown ass woman, and who has her own damn channel on here, and I go to whoever's chat I want to, because that's just the way it is. Um, Nonetheless, yeah, I got blocked, and the only reason I knew that I was blocked by the person was because they would come into the chat and everybody be saying hi to them, and I can't see them. And here's the irony of the situation: am a supporter of theirs. I still go to their chat. I still look and see, what they're talking about. Sometimes they talking some stuff that's just like way over the top, you know. But hey, everyone's entitled to their own opinions. Hey, Patriot in the Dark. So my point is that we want to see more diversity. There should be more diversity in, I guess, the channels that people see than just the beauty channels. Our beauty channels, um, the ones where people are naturalistas, cooking channels, uh, in this sector of YouTube. I'm just saying, it just should be more in Black YouTube. But that's, unfortunately, those are the big money grabs. Those are the channels that can get, you know, you know, big faster, because that's the kind of content that drives a lot of traffic. And but have no fear. We're studying these algorithms. I'm trying, y'all, to study the algorithm. And really, all I'm trying to do is to figure out what I need to do to reach the audience I want to reach and to grow my audience organically. Meanwhile, still pushing towards that monetization. Because, hey, PM Maryland, you know, but I'm not going to let, foolishness that's going on around YouTube push me off course. I got stuff to do. I got content to put out. Hey, Matt. I didn't see you. Sorry. I got content to put out. And a lot of it's in my head, and I'm just trying to get it out because, you know, each video, no matter how long or short it is that I put out, other than the live streams, it takes time to do the editing. I could literally be working on the video for, a couple of hours every day for almost a week, depending on it. Like the last one that I just put out, I did the actual filming of that video, I think, not this past weekend, but the weekend before that. And then first I had to go find that little video clip that I stuck in there. But then when I was in the editing process, I was learning these new things that I could do. So it took me longer to get it done. But generally, on average, when you're doing like just even a 5 or 10 minute video, it's about 10 hours worth of work that goes into the editing of it if you want to put out something that's not, doo-doo. You know, I mean, I'm trying to pop my thumbnails more because I know that's the important thing. So not only, you know, getting my content together, but making sure that, I've got thumbnails that hopefully will drive people to click on the video. But I'm not a clickbaiter. I'm not going to clickbait. All the ones who do all the clickbaiting, that's fine. But that's that's not the kind of channel I have. And if I got to clickbait you to get you to listen to stuff, um, in dealing with someone on the spectrum and being a caregiver, and looking at the different lifestyle stuff that I'm going to be sharing on the channel, then maybe that's not someone that's going to be a supporter of mine, and I'm okay with that. You know, totally okay with it. I have no problem. You know, growing my channel the old-fashioned way. You know, I know that at one point there were people who allegedly, and I say allegedly, bought subscribers. But as far as I know, that's illegal and you can't do it. But allegedly, people were buying subscribers in the past so that they could push their subscriber count. But who wants to do that BS? Don't you want people who actually want to actually listen to what it is that you're talking about, or what it is that you're vlogging about? Because, let's be clear. The majority of the people that have channels on here are not doing live streams. They're just doing videos. Um, I'm doing live streams because if all I did videos, I'd be collecting my Social Security before I would get my 4,000 watch hours. Yes, I would. Because my videos are not, my vlogs are not longer than I try to keep them to no more than 15 minutes, because people have attention spans like the size of a gnat. So you don't want to make these long videos when you're doing your vlogs. Now live streams is a whole different thing. But even with that, I still try to keep it down to an hour, so that when people are actually listening, you know, even if they're just letting it play, um, after the fact, I don't have somebody playing something that's going for 4 or 5 hours. I think I only have done a couple of live streams that were like four. I've done one that was four, and maybe no, two that were four, maybe one that was five. But on regular basis, I'm talked out after an hour, and I know I can talk. Let me see what you're saying. The 2A channels. Exactly, Marilyn. We only want people to come to our channel because they want to. And that's why I appreciate when people come, because I know people only come because they want to. Nobody has to come. Nobody has to come to anybody's channel. No one has to watch anybody's videos, go to anybody's live stream. Well, see, that's the thing, Patriot in the Dark. You know, I want to be a channel that, of course, when I'm talking about autism, I know that might not be everybody's cup of tea, but a lot of people want to know about it still. You know what I'm saying? And my channel's open to anybody. As long as you're not into hate speech, and you, you don't have issues with people who have disabilities, you know, then we're good. And people who have issues, whatever issues you have with someone, if you have an issue with someone who happens to be in my stream, that's your problem. Don't bring it into the stream. This is not the place for that. If you've got a channel, take it to your channel. That's just the way I feel about it. because when I do these live streams, I want them to be a nice, chill place where we can, yeah, we can talk. Sometimes people come up, but a lot of times I'm just giving my thoughts. And I appreciate those of you who come in and listen and chime in through the chat. That's okay. I know you. I know. I know. I do my stream late for a lot of the people that are subscribed to my channel because I'm on the West Coast, and I know that a lot of the channels that I go to and that support me are in other parts of the country. So unless they are like, you know, night owls, they may or may not be up when I actually go live. But I appreciate people who come through and drop comments in the live streams the next day when it uploads to YouTube because, you know, they didn't have to come through, but they do. Oh yeah, I know, Matt. Yeah, but that's kind of a legitimate reason for that one particular issue. Yeah, I really don't have issues with anyone, you know, and if they've got issues with me, I don't even know about them. I do, and I'm not losing no sleep over it either, because YouTube is only part of what I do. It's only part of what I do. You know, I actually have a job off of YouTube. I have family off of YouTube, and I'm involved in other things. I'm acting. God, this time last year, I mean, like last year, I had no idea that I was going to be doing all of this acting. But the last couple of years, it's just been moving towards that. So I'm doing acting. I'm taking classes to get certain types of certifications to do things that are going to help my son. You know, so YouTube is not my life, but I come on here because I enjoy, you know, a lot of the stuff that I find on here, and I enjoy a lot of people's channels. A lot of times I'm not available when some people go live, but I come and jump. I'll go and listen to the live afterwards and give them a like, you know, and if I know have an opinion on whatever they were talking about in the live, I'll drop something in the comments so that they know. It's, YouTube is a wonderful platform if you use it for the right reasons. I mean, where else could you talk to people around the country, around the world? Yeah, you can do that somewhat on Facebook, but really on Facebook, you really are mainly talking to people that you know or people that know people that you know. On YouTube, it's people that don't know anybody that you know that just happen to be in the same chat that you're in, that or happen to go to the same channels that you go to, hang out in the same live streams, totally different. We meet people from all over the world on here, and everyone's cool. And then you're gonna have your a-holes all over. I mean, there's always somebody who isn't nice. I tend to not deal with those people because let me tell y'all something about my personality. I really don't care. I don't care. It's like, all right, if that's how you are, okay, that's cool. That's how I am. Because at this particular point in my life, you know, I'm quote unquote one of those women who has hit that wall. Okay? you know, but I'm not in for anything that's going to stress me. I don't care. I'm at an age where I say what I want to say, and I feel the way I want to feel. And if you don't like it, I don't care. And if you act in some kind of way, the ones who act the freaking fool on here, I just shake my head because it's always people who are over a certain age that are doing this dumbass stuff. It's like they have nothing else to do. Roberto's in San Diego. I used to go down to San Diego. One of my nephews lived down in San Diego at one point when he was playing for the Chargers. So I've seen that restaurant. San Diego is nice. It's totally different from Los Angeles area. Totally different scene. So is San Francisco. It's like San Diego and Orange County are even though they're in Southern California, just like LA, very, very different feels in those areas of Southern California. And then the Bay Area is completely different from Southern California. Northern California is totally different. Um, I've never actually lived in the Bay Area. I have family up there. But what I am told by other people who are from the East Coast, like myself, is that people in the Bay Area are more like people from the East Coast than the folks that are in Southern California. They have more of an East Coast mentality than Southern California as far as how people are. So, yes, San Diego's expensive, but yeah, La Jolla and all around there. But LA's expensive too. LA's expensive too. I mean, Southern California is just expensive. Unless you want to live way out in the middle of, nowhere. And even moving out to the middle of nowhere is starting to get expensive in Southern California. I mean, you literally probably have to move way out to like Palm Springs, Palm Desert, Indio, and Blythe, and all of that stuff, which is miserable as far as the heat. I know Indio's like hell, California. Been there. There's nothing in Indio but a state prison. Yeah. Pretty much that is Indio, the state prison. Most of the people that live there work at the prison. A lot of people work at that prison. But yeah, LA area is expensive. But the wild thing to me is that my hometown is just as expensive as where I live. It's just as expensive to live in DC as it is to live in LA. And it wasn't like that when I came out here, but I've been here for a minute. But when I came and went to college out here, it wasn't that expensive. Now, even if you move to Maryland, you have to move really far out to what we used to consider the boondocks, which is no longer the boondocks, in southern Maryland, in order to get places that are not that expensive, you know, and or you move to to Northern Virginia. But Northern Virginia has personal property taxes, which I think suck. You know, yeah. So in addition to them paying registration on their vehicles, they then have to pay a personal property tax on their vehicles when they pay their taxes in the state of Virginia. I have friends that live in Virginia. But yeah, California's expensive. But one of the reasons that I've been here is because California is also one of the states that have the best services for individuals on the autism spectrum. Florida is the other state. Then, depending on where you are in Texas, and then if you go to the Northeast, you've got some stuff that is good in like the Boston area, but that's part of why I'm still here. And why I did not, move to a cheaper place or move back home. Well, I would like to own property back home again. I don't necessarily have to live in the DC area. I just would want to have property back home in the DC area. So I would like to maybe like buy a house, either the house that I grew up in, because my parents sold it, or a house in that area as like, I don't know, like as a second home, or it could be a rental, you know. Well, yeah, when I mean, I'm not a homeowner now, but I used to be a homeowner. Sold my house, but my house was, I thought was, it was high to me back when I bought it. And I was probably in the early two, it was like the late 90s, and it was, but you could still even, but then you could still find something that was affordable. But because the FHA limits have, moved up, and they're pretty much, in line with, um, Fannie and Freddie for conforming loans. You can, in California, in like Los Angeles County or certain counties, like in the San Francisco area, they have higher limits, so people can still get, you know, HUD financing, you know. But, you know, a lot of people thought that the real estate market was going to hit a bubble again, and that might have happened, but then the plague happened. So, because the plague happened, that kind of stopped that kind of stuff from happening. So, I would say that there probably will eventually be a bubble, but it's probably not going to happen quite as fast because it was starting to happen, you know, it was starting to happen. But then the pandemic happened. So, yeah, the real estate market is, people actually, if you're in a position to buy, probably now is the best time to buy for those who are in a position to buy, you know, because the interest rates are, you know, they really are, I think they're lower than they were, after the Big Short. I think they're lower than that. Hi, Willie. I did get your email address. I'm going to email you. I just haven't had a chance, but I did get it. I saw it in the comments. Yeah, but California was very, I'll say Los Angeles was very different when I moved here. When I came here and I originally came here and went to school here, LA was different than it is now. I mean, that was around the time of crack cocaine was about to hit the streets of LA. But I was coming from DC. And at the time, DC had the highest murder rate per capita of any other city in the country, which was one of the reasons why I didn't want to, I wanted to be someplace else. But I love my hometown. But at that particular point, I wanted to be someplace else. But then I came out here, they had the battle rams. And I mean, I saw how crack ravaged South Central LA. At the same time, it was ravaging my hometown. Hey, brown girl Bella. Hola, chica. But I mean, I think like my hometown. Whenever I go back, it's not like even the same as it was when I was growing up. I mean, it DC has been very much gentrified. It is very gentrified. I mean, my best friend's mom owned a house on Capitol Hill that you could literally walk to Union Station from. She sold that house. She finally sold it because she held on to it for a long time while everybody was selling around her. But she sold that house, and it's one of the, it's a row house, and it's like, you know, it has a basement, but there's like one, three, five. It literally has five bedrooms in it though. On three, like the bedrooms are on the second and the third floor. The first floor is, living room, kitchen. Then there's a basement. Then you go up one flight, three bedrooms. Then you go up another flight, two more bedrooms. And whoever she sold it to split that in, made it into two units. But she got she got almost $1 million. She was able to go buy her a condo and sock the rest of her money away for her retirement. In her retirement to live off of. Oh yeah, the traffic here is awful. That's why I'm glad I work from home. I have worked from home for almost 10 years. So I don't go out in the traffic unless I have to. And I hate the freeway traffic. I try to avoid the freeway traffic. But yeah, really, like the neighborhood all around, like, okay, so when I was growing up, Union Station in DC was a train station. That's all it was. By the time I was in, I would say, by the time I was like 30, which would have been still in the, would have been like the late, by the late 80s, it had become a movie theater and a shopping mall. It was still a train station, but it's all those other things too. So, and then downtown DC doesn't even look anything like it looked when I was growing up. You could actually drive past the White House. Now they have all of that shut down. You can't even drive on that part of Pennsylvania Avenue. All of that is shut down in DC. And that's been like that for years. I think they did that after they kept getting people, somehow getting onto the White House property so easily. And now they've made, the street leading to the White House a plaza. So it's pretty much the only ones who can drive on there is those going in and out of the White House. And I think they have them come through a different gate. I don't even think they use that gate. I think that gate is not even used on the front anymore. Oh yeah, see that's the thing. When you are doing additions to your properties, if you become a homeowner, please make sure that all additions are permitted. Because if they are not permitted, they might be cute, but you can't get any value for them, and they're generally written out of the value, and they may, they may make you tear them down. They can make them a tear down if it's not up to inspection. Like if you've got one house on your lot and you decide you're going to build a back house, get it permitted. Either get it permitted as like a guest house or get it permitted as an actual second unit. But somehow make sure that your property is no longer an R1 property, because if it's an R1 property and there's 2 units on it, that other unit is worthless as far as being included in the value of the actual property. It They will not include it as an improvement. This is what DC knows from having worked in the real estate lending industry for like the last 30 years. So that was free. Hey, Joe. Does anybody know if we can start renewing our passports again? I wonder if we can start. I think I'm gonna ask my cousin. I have a cousin that works for them. I'm gonna ask her because I need to renew my passport. And you guys know that we still have to get that real ID, and it's still October. They have not changed the date. So if you're planning, even though we are, still in the middle of COVID, any traveling, over the holidays, you better get that daggone ID or you are not going to be able to get on a plane. Not going to be able to get on a plane. See, yeah, that's different. If it's within the house. And see, the thing is, if you sometimes when you add if you add on a room, you just have to be careful because here's the thing: if you add a room onto a house, if it does not have a closet, it is not considered a bedroom. A room must have a closet in order for it to be considered a bedroom. Otherwise, it's considered a bonus room. Yeah, a lot of people say they have this bonus room. Whenever they say it's a bonus room usually means it's not permitted. It's not permitted. And that's something that you need to understand if you're renting as well. If they say bonus room, it's not included in the square footage because it's not permitted. So that's why they have to call it a bonus room. But trust me, they will still try to charge you rent for that bonus room, but it's not but they're not being it's not part of their square footage. And a lot of them they're done, correctly and everything. People just are too lazy to go get their projects permitted and have inspectors come out. That's all. They're just too lazy to do it. You got your travel ID? Yeah, I'm getting ready to get mine. I couldn't find I couldn't find my the long form of my birth certificate, which is the one they need. So I had to go online and order it from DC. So when it gets here, then I'll take my happy butt over to DMV and get this other ID. I mean, my driver's license doesn't expire until next year, so I don't know if they make it your driver's license into it, or if they just going to make it into they just give it to you as an ID card. I don't know. Yeah, okay, I see. So you made that one a little smaller. One of my friends did that at her house, a house she was going because she's going to be renting it out to like college students at USC, and she had a really huge living room, and she took part of the living room and made it into another bedroom. Not like because basically they all have like a single or or a double, not not no king size bed or anything, but big enough for them to have a a bed and their dresser and stuff. But she had to basically give up part of the huge living room in order to add that room on. But I think she got it permitted. I think she got it permitted. But because the house that she grew up in is by USC, she rents it out to university students. Even still, while we're in the pandemic, because a lot of those kids still came to school. They may be going to school online, but they brought their happy butts to LA because they're trying to get as much of the college experience as they can. Of course, that's why some of them are positive because I know they're having parties. I know what I did when I was in college. You know, I remember when I came to California and I was 3,000 miles away from home. Y'all, DC lost your freaking mind. That my sophomore year in college. because my junior year, my dad had moved to California. So I only had 1 year on the West Coast without having my immediate family. By the next year, my father was in LA. So, and he stayed. Was my dad moved from California. Shoot, like 10 years ago. Yeah, yeah, he moved from here 10 years ago, but he was here almost most of the time that I was in California. I actually had my dad out here, which was a blessing. Even though I probably didn't appreciate him moving out here, messing with my game, but it helped because when my dad was out here, I was able to go hide me and my line sisters a couple of times when I was online, and we made our way to Pasadena, which is where my dad lived, far away from USC. So I do appreciate my dad having been out here when I was in college, because my dad is in a fraternity, so he understood when we came running over there and just said, "We just need to stay here for a few hours, Dad. We just need." And this was before cell phones. Thank you, God, it was before cell phones. So they couldn't find us. They couldn't find us. You know, it was before people were running around with pagers. So they literally could not find us for 12 hours. We were gone. We were MIA. No. What I'm saying is that, like, with the permits, Willie. What I'm saying with the permits is that a lot of people do additions to their houses without getting it permitted, and I mean the work is craftsman's work. The only issue is, and I won't say in other states. I will just speak about in the state of California. They won't give you any value for it if it's not permitted. And when someone goes to buy the property, they may make them, there's a possibility that it could be destroyed. But usually it doesn't, it's not that, they don't make it that extreme. They just, the appraiser just cannot include it in the square footage. Even if, like, they added a room inside the house, they would just draw the floor plan of the property the way that they would show what the original plan is, and then they would put a dotted line for where something was added that's not being included. But usually, if those things are done and everything is up to a certain standard, depending on where you are, they can it can be included. Like, I know on HUD loans, they'll allow them to include it if that is the best, if it doesn't impact the original use of the property, they'll allow it sometimes. See, now y'all get the other side of my brain. Because I have all of this knowledge about the real estate lending from all these years, and it won't go away. Hey, Sly Jones. Thank you for coming. Appreciate you for coming. I had to jump out of Light Bearer's thing earlier though. It was getting really good. I went back and listened to the rest of it after I got out of my rehearsal, which is so weird doing, you guys, it's so weird doing rehearsals for a movie in a Zoom and not being, because basically we're doing like table reads right now. We're doing all these table reads, and we won't actually be in the same place with the other people who are in the movie until we actually go to do whatever scenes we're in. And people will only be on set for the scenes that they're in. If you're not in the scene, you're not there. Me, because I am also the production assistant on this project, I got to be there. Basically, holding a script if people don't have their line as we're filming and stuff, making sure that, people are on their spots and stuff, keeping all of the director's notes. Like, I'm the one who has to keep all the notes for the rehearsals. So any notes that were given yesterday, I had to make sure that those notes were followed in today's rehearsal because the director was not at the rehearsal. And I recorded the rehearsal so I can send it to her so she can see the rehearsal. Yeah. The next place that I would love to be able to just buy a house and not have a mortgage. I, you know, but we shall see. Or if I do a mortgage, don't do a 30-year. Do like a 15-year mortgage. Because who wants to have in the age range that I'm in, that would have me having a mortgage, you know, into retirement. Whereas if I got a 15-year mortgage, then I would be paying off the house when I'm retiring. Makes perfect sense. Of course, you know, money could just rain out of the sky. I could win one of those publishers clearinghouse things that they're giving out every month. They're still giving those out in the middle of the pandemic. I wonder how that's working out for them. Where they're giving out that money that people get every week. What is it, $5,000 a week for life? And then you can give it to the next generation. That's a good deal for whoever gets that. Yeah, but no, mortgages being canceled out is great. Oh, you guys, I do need to tell you guys that I'm getting ready to promote a friend of mine's show because she's gonna have a comedian on there. You guys may not have heard of this comedian, but my friend, the Lockhart Perspective, is going to have comedian Hope Flood on her show. And if you guys ever watched Def Jam Comedy Jam, she was one of those comedians that went through Def Jam. And they even, she showed her in one of the clips, because I mean, it's not like there was 100 female comedians that went through there. And I actually personally know Hope because Hope is a member of my church. But Hope Flood is going to be on the Lockhart Perspective at 6 o'clock Pacific on Sunday. And I am going to actually post the link to her video promoting it on my community tab tomorrow. So anyone who's around this weekend, take a listen to that, because Hope is hilarious. She is so freaking funny. She's been in a few movies. I just can't think of which one she's been in now, but I mean, she's funny. Funny. She was also in, you guys remember when they did the dark skin girl, light skin girl movies on that were on, Bill Duke did those. One was that were on OWN. She was in the light skin girl one. She was in that one. But see, that's the kind of stuff I like to do on my channel. I like to talk about other small, and I hate to say small, I like to talk about other content creators that may not be known by everybody, that have really good content. You know? Like the Lockhart Perspective, I've known Felicia for years. I mean, like, my son's 25. I think I've known her longer than my son has been alive, because we used to sing together. But she started when she started her YouTube channel. She's in a different sector, but she does like a lot of commentary. That's basically what she does on her channel. Because, like me, she's not a beauty vlogger, and nothing against the beauty vloggers. It's just that that's not my forte. You know, I wear makeup a little bit, but I don't wear a lot of makeup. Um, Mainly because I have beautiful skin that's still beautiful even at the ripe old age of 57. So, and I've always been of the, I kind of want people to see what they're getting. So I don't wear a whole bunch of makeup. So, who you met is, the same person that you're going to see consistently. you know I still think about what in that movie, I'm Gonna Get You Sucker, Anne-Marie Johnson's character, when dude got back to the house, when she started pulling off everything, including her booty. I promise you, that's not DC. But yeah, no, I have there's several of the beauty bloggers who are, channels that I follow, and one of them I'm really, really good friends with, and she just got monetized 3 weeks ago. I'm so happy for her. But as y'all see, when I get on here for the Not So Random Chat, I can talk about a whole lot of stuff. And guess what? We have come to the hour mark. So I'm going to come on so you guys can see me before I get off of here. Hi, everybody. How are you guys doing? Thank you so much for coming and hanging out with me. I really, really appreciate it. I do. And as you can see, there is no King David tonight because he has already gone upstairs. Hey, Terry. He's upstairs. But I'm getting ready to get out of here. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Tomorrow is Friday. Whew, my hair is kind of, what is it doing? Let me grab it. I can't get it. There we go. It's doing something crazy. I'll fix it. I'm on the wrong side, huh? There we go. Got it. Got it. And it still wants to do it. Still wants to do it. All right, I'm gonna leave it alone because it seems like I'm making it worse. I'm making it worse. Anyway, I pulled it up so I could get on camera with you guys. Anyway, I'll be back on tomorrow. Thank God it's Friday, and this is a 3-day weekend. And guess what? Your girl DC got some Maryland blue crabs coming in. And I'm probably going to do a quick video showing them because they should be here tomorrow. Anyway, I'll see you guys tomorrow night. Until then, peace and blessings from the West Side. I'm out. Peace.